Welcome to the 191st edition of Make Pro Wrestling Majestic again. I am Tiger Height.
And I am in a better camera position this time
You
around.
are. I actually really paid attention and made sure that we got this camera angle, and I took pictures of it. So it's all well and good. Now, let's get into some drama. And here's a big one, because this one might have legal consequences.
Yay!
Now, apparently, Mina Shirakawa's theme was sold to AEW, but it was a modified version of this person's song, and they never got credit for it. Here is where we are when it comes to AEW. Either they just outright stole it and modified it, and this whole thing about purchasing it from this other person is just not right.
Right.
Or they're morons who can't fact check shit. How about we put this in fucking Shazam and it tells you what it is?
Right.
So luckily, Tony Khan changed the theme song. He did it partway through the match.
Yep.
Some people said, oh, he's listening to the fans. No, he's listening to this person who verifiably made the song.
Right.
I mean, it's not a great song, but it's this person's song. It's their intellectual property. AEW just continues to be utter failures at pretty much everything, including a crossover.
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember this episode, when they were talking about it.
So they did not mention AEW once. The principal is known as a doofus on the show. I can't remember his name. I don't watch Family Guy often. I did watch the clip. They put the mask on for maybe 2 seconds, did not mention by name at all, and not only that, they made it was butt end of a joke.
Right.
It was a joke. You made fun of AEW. You made fun of Excalibur, this racist idiot. And people are trying to say, oh my god, this is going to be a big boost in the ratings for AEW.
I can guarantee you that it didn't do anything for the ratings.
It didn't do a damn thing. The mask is not iconic in any capacity. This is not Rey Mysterio. Right. This is not El Santo.
Right.
This is Excalibur, who is not even a wrestler. He used to be, but he is a commentator. So this was a utter failure, and the only reason this happened is because Colt Cabana's brother is a producer on the show. That is
on Family Guy?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is it.
It was not even an official crossover then.
No, it was never a crossover. It was some stupid not mentioned.
The IWC was promoting it as a crossover.
Yeah, this was not a crossover. It was a joke. It was 1,000% a joke. Let's talk about what has been transpiring and this big controversy with GCW, Joey Janela, and Sabu. Joey Janela did quote this, saying that they essentially gave Sabu drugs to get him through the match. Number one, there's no verified evidence of this. Right. We don't even know how Sabu died.
Right.
But I can guarantee you, well, maybe not guarantee, I can 99.9% guarantee you that the match and him dying are two totally separate things.
They're not related in any way.
No. Why would Brett Lauderdale, or whatever his name is,
right.
Joey Janela, why would they put themselves in that position?
Right. Because if his death happened 2 days after the match, then maybe you could attribute it to the match. But this is
a month. I think it was officially 3 weeks.
Okay.
So it was a month. It was a month difference.
And I don't know if he was showing any signs or symptoms of any perceived sickness. I mean, you just don't know.
Well, we don't know until the autopsy happens. There's 1,000 things on why Sabu was died. People trying to equate these two things without all the facts is ridiculous. Yeah. GCW and Joey Janela, I'm hoping, I don't think so, at least GCW would not put themselves in that kind of vulnerable position legally, which is ridiculous. People Dakota Kai was not fired because of her age. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's 35. The median age of the WWE roster, not including NXT, is around that same age. I think it's like 30. I think it's like 34.
Yeah.
So it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
This narrative has to
because Jeff Cobb
stop.
is like 42.
Yeah, he's 42, and he just got to the WWE.
Right.
John Cena is their world champion, and he's almost 50.
Right.
R-Truth is older. There's no reason. Asuka is older than that. Natalya is older than that.
And Natalya doesn't, she doesn't complain.
Yeah, nobody is complaining because nobody is being released that way. I don't know why these people were released, but this narrative has got to stop.
Yeah.
It is not true. It is not backed by any facts. And if you and your little pea-brain mind think this, you're an idiot.
IWC, baby.
So the WrestleTalk, another YouTube channel, definitely bigger than ours, they announced, I think sometime last week, that they are no longer going to be doing AEW content because it does not get the views.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the cult have turned on them.
AEW cult has turned on them?
They have turned on them.
Of course they have. It's
ridiculous. So here's the thing. WrestleTalk is a media company. Their entire philosophy is getting views. That's how they get paid, through the ads and sponsors through these. Because more views means they can negotiate better things for these items. That's how they make their money. And also, keep in mind that there's a lot of people to pay here. There's the production cost. This is WrestleTalk. They don't just have a whatever.
Right.
They have people in production. They have editors. The hosts probably don't get paid. They probably get paid, as an employee. These things happen on the back end. They made this decision because of the time to money ratio.
Right.
If they're not seeing that ROI, they're not going to do it.
Right. And so it's like people who watch AEW aren't watching them anyways.
Right, exactly. These people are trying to think in their minds, hit record and talk. No, there's a lot there. I mean, even within our channel, even though it's a lot smaller than WrestleTalk, we have investments in the things that we have.
And we get more views when we talk shit about AEW, so there's that going for us.
Exactly. So it's ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous narrative. And I think it's unbelievably wrong. Let's talk about this contract, about this productivity drink. That's not a thing. It's a scam. So don't buy it. It's stupid.
What is it?
It's a productivity drink.
No. Do we have the name of the actual company?
No, it's a company in Virginia.
Oh,
that's the extent that I read.
So it's not like a big name brand.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. It is it's like a $3.575 million deal across 3 years.
Okay.
And the logo.
Are they trying to be Prime here?
Yes. No, that's what it is. Part of their contract is that their logo will be prominently displayed in the ring. So the people who criticize WWE for doing that, shut the fuck up.
Right. Because then you'll say, oh my God, it's such a good product placement.
I can guarantee you that's what
I can already see the cult saying it's the coolest thing ever.
Exactly.
I can already see the cult saying this.
Yes, it wasn't there this last week because I think the deal was signed a little bit ago, but I think it was signed on Friday.
Yeah, I think the cult is going to go ape.
They're going to go ape shit like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is proof that AEW is making money. We can get sponsors if we really wanted to.
Right. I can, yeah.
Exactly. Rhea Ripley put out a very interesting tweet, and I don't think you people understand what she meant because I talked about it independently. I understood the fanaticism here because these are criticisms that I have heard, that she has heard, that everybody has heard. It's called consistency. If you do believe women's wrestling deserves better, you cannot say any of this.
Right.
Because it is not consistent. You can have your opinion about that, but you can't, that's not consistency.
Right.
Peanut Gallery and I, we champion wrestling of all walks. I don't care. As long as you are a good wrestler, you're fine.
And the things that we say in jest.
Right. They're jokes. And they're obviously
sarcastic humans here.
Right. We're sarcastic bastards. That's what we are.
That's our brand.
But the thing is, we are consistent about that. We have said that 1,000 fucking times. That we make these things as a joke. But I've seen people do this, saying, oh, they slept with the boss to get their job. Triple H has had that same criticism. He married Stephanie McMahon.
Right.
The whole thing of you should retire and all of this. I mean, it's a double-edged sword because males get it and females get it.
Yeah, they all do.
They all do.
Because you could replace that with black wrestlers deserve better.
Right.
Or
Mexican wrestlers deserve better.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that with any minority group within professional wrestling.
Every single thing here will fit to the dot.
Yep.
To the absolute dot.
Yeah.
Dave Meltzer. So AEW in the ratings did beat NXT. Congratulations. You guys won by like 30,000 views.
Right.
Now, in Dave's tweet, what is missing here?
His max numbers.
The max numbers. Why? Because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Right.
People literally still look at Dave Meltzer as a source of news. This guy is not news.
No.
At this point, if you do believe it, hard R retard.
Yep.
Because you cannot be taken seriously as an independent thinker.
Right.
Not as a journalist, not as somebody with acclaim, as a person. Because you're not being honest. Dave Meltzer is not an honest person. He is a bad person. He is a wuss. He will never take any of these things back. And watch, when AEW shuts its fucking doors, he's going to delete everything about AEW.
Yeah, probably.
And most likely hang himself. But that's beside the point.
That's terrible.
TMZ. So I read a little bit within the Nikki Bella and the Artem divorce settlement. People, this is rare. It is rare that the woman has to pay the guy child support.
Yeah.
It is rare that the woman has to give the man money as this. But reading into it, I can understand why. And when I originally made my first video, I did not read into it as much as I should. And that was my fault. But I'm going to keep the video up because it's entertaining and it's getting views. But
there we go.
The settlement essentially is to absolve Artem of assets that lead to the Nikki Bella Trust. And that's including her brands. So because she developed the brands and did all of that while they were married. And within California, that is a marital asset. And if she did not propose this to Artem, then he would have stake within that brand and he would get paid for essentially doing nothing.
Right.
This was a mutually agreed upon settlement for the divorce.
Right.
So
because Nikki is going to make a lot of money off her brand.
Right.
And obviously Artem had I guess you could call it maybe a quality of life expectation.
Right.
And yeah, it's a whole mess.
I mean, $3,500 a month for child support for Mateo is not short money at all.
No,
and not
especially
only
in California.
Right. And also Mateo was going to speech therapy and she is paying for that as well.
Yeah.
Any other extracurricular activities will be split by the parents, which I thought was actually interesting as well. But also that I think, if I'm not mistaken, Artem is going to get majority of custody of Mateo.
I don't know exactly what.
The holidays are going to be different, but that's what I also sort of saw in Jess. It was a lot of legal jargon, so keep that in mind. But this is sort of a breakdown on why, and I think because I did talk about it earlier, I probably should have brought it up on more of an in-depth analysis on the divorce settlement and onto why.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, even though this is very rare, especially in California, I can understand why Nikki said, okay, you know what? I want to keep these things. Long-term investment here.
Yeah.
Here's $200,000. Here's $3,500 a month for child support for Mateo. I'm keeping the business.
Right.
I'm keeping the assets. She's going to make a lot more money in the long run.
Right.
other than that. And I'm sure she could probably pay this without any
Right.
issues whatsoever. But that is wrestling drama for me. Peanut Gallery, we got news coming up.
Yes, we do.